Good afternoon, dear students. Myself, C.S. Megha Goyal, Faculty Board of Studies, welcomes you all for the today's session for Paper 2, Business Laws at the Foundation level. Today, we will start Unit 3 of Chapter 3, that is Sales of Goods Act. I assuming that Unit 1 and Unit 2 you have completed from the study material as well as Saransh, and you are daily practicing the questions, descriptive questions, which are covered at the end of the study material, which are covered in your RTPs, which are covered in your MTP booklets. Okay, so there is a question bank of, I have already told you that there is a question bank of around 500 questions and answers with you available. If any student is not aware about this question bank, please see my previous session which I have done on 2nd June 2025, or they can chat me also, so I can contact with them personally, because I have told this many times that practice questions, but where are they available? Okay, one thing, yes, yesterday the result of May 2025 has been published, and we are very happy. So because so many students has written to us that yes, ma'am, due to study material, due to our LVC class, we have cleared our foundation and they have shifted to intermediate. There are wonderful students, but some students may be there who had not cleared their May 2025. Please, dear students, don't be disheartened. Just believe that you will clear your CA foundation in this September 2025. But you have to study hard and do the smart work as well as hard work. Okay? If the students are there who has cleared or not cleared the May 2000, they can write me in the chat box so I can analyze. Okay, there might be some difficulties that why they have not cleared, so they can contact me personally over chat box. Suggested answer for May 2025 we have released within 24 hours of release of the results, so you can watch that what are the mistakes. If any student is there who has given the May 2025 but could not clear, so they can view the suggested answer for all the four papers, that 1 and 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2, paper 3 and paper 4 will be uploaded very soon, so that they can view that what are the mistakes you have done in your previous examination and you do not commit the same mistakes in September 2025. And it is also a question bank for you, suggested answer. You can view, there will be 20 to 22 questions. So you can practice the questions available in the suggested answer of May 2025. Okay, because by doing these kind of practice, maybe some similar type of question come in your examination. Akshita, please write to me in the chat box. Okay, at the end we will take your queries. You can meanwhile write me in the chat box. And this notes and assignments for Unit 3 are already been uploaded. So please do the practice part, as well as most important thing, memorizing the sections, reading from the study material, because practicing the questions is an important one, but simultaneously you cannot ignore the theoretical portion of business law, because nowadays some students are lacking in revising, in reading and in memorizing the provisions, because law paper is a theoretical paper. Okay, तो आपको क्या आना चाहिए, you must memorize. ठीक है, memorize the provisions and writing practice of the provisions. You can divide your answer in different bullets. You can divide the answers in paragraph. You can make an underline. So law is a theoretical paper, so presentation of answers matters a lot. So do a lot of practice of application oriented questions as well as the descriptive questions, theoretical questions. Okay, so we are starting with our technical session, Unit 3, Sales of Goods Act. Over to you, Harleen.
A very good afternoon, ma'am. And yes, heartiest congratulations to you and to all the students. A very great result has come. And we have few of the students who are thanking us here in the session also. Miss Meenu Kumari has written, she has cleared her foundation exam. So congratulations, child, to you. So that's really nice. Okay. So let's start today Unit 3, Sale of Goods Act. Geeta is writing, ma'am, I'm really enjoying law and साथ के साथ question case studies हो रहे हैं. So that's great, students. So as ma'am also told you that please pay attention to all the descriptive questions also that are given behind the module, behind every chapter you have all these case studies and questions, and beautifully the answers are written over there. But I would request you read the question and try to frame the case study answers the way we have been teaching you provisions, facts of the case, and conclusion, because it really gives you a good weightage how you are representing and writing your answers in the exams. All right, welcome all of you, Padula Pati, and all of you. Revision class was also quite beneficial. Students are writing, ma'am. So that was great. Ravi Kumar, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Sandeep, Geeta, all those who have joined the class. Welcome, all of you. Okay, students, can you see me now? Ma'am, some of the students are saying that I'm not in spotlight, so maybe I'm not visible to them.
I'm just doing it.
All right, all right. Sangram, good afternoon. Sarla Devi. Okay, so let's start the class, children. Any one of you who have doubts in your previous unit 2? Anyone who wants to ask any of the doubts in the previous lecture, so you can ask me. I'm just finding your messages. Okay, Sandeep says, ma'am, you're visible now. All right, Meenu Kumari, thank you so much. Nana is asking something. Okay, only the good afternoon messages. Yes, Tulsi Nathan, if you want to say something, you can speak, but
Namaste,
otherwise...
ma'am.
Yes, namaste, child.
Ma'am, I didn't understand the two terms, voluntary waiver and compulsory waiver, ma'am.
Sorry, your voice is not clear. Can you
I
repeat?
didn't understand two terms, voluntary waiver and compulsory waiver, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, just mute yourself. I'll explain you. Padula Parthi has written, in case of patents, if we get the wrong product, then we have the right to sue the company or no. Okay, Padula Parthi, I'll just explain your doubt also. Tanisha is saying doubt in chapter number 3. So we are about to start, okay, unit 1 you're asking. Sugar packets out of 100 lying in the shop. Okay, Tanisha, the 100 packets, the combined unit which is lying in the stock is your bulk quantity that will be unascertain, out of which one packet that you have picked up and packed would be ascertain. So if you ask me difference between specific and ascertain, so they are interchangeably using words. So if you are very much specific, then it is a specific good. Out of the uncertain, if you have picked, then yes, you are right in your query that it will be an ascertain goods. All right. Okay. Those who are asking about compulsory and voluntary waiver. So section 13 tells you what are the cases in which I am going to treat my breach of condition as breach of warranty. Means what was condition? Breach of condition. I was returning the goods and I was claiming the refund of money. But in warranty, I am just taking the damages. I'm not returning the goods. I'm keeping the goods with myself. So Tulsi Nathan, कंपल्सरी वेवर होता है कि मतलब अब मेरे पास कोई ऑप्शन है ही नहीं है, मींस लॉ ने कुछ ऐसा इम्पोज कर दिया है that I cannot return the goods, I can only claim the damages. Or if the goods are non-severable, I told you non-severable, for example, the grains have got mixed up and you have used them, so now you can only claim the damages, you cannot return half-used goods, right? And voluntary waiver का मतलब हिंदी में voluntary का मतलब होता है अपनी इच्छा से, and waiver करना means to give up. Means मैंने decide करा, I have decided that I am not going to return the products. I told you this water bottle and there was a breach. I wanted a red color. He has given me blue color. So there is a breach of condition. Description has been breached. But I like the bottle so much that I don't want to return it. So I can claim the damages and I will treat it as section 15. I'm treating my breach of condition as the breach of warranty. All right, so I hope we have had a quick recap also, whatever it is given. Okay, not a problem, Tanisha. It is given in the study material unasserted for the whole quantity. Okay, so when you pick it up, you have to write your assumptions and examples, whatever you are writing about. Maybe they have answered about the 100 goods. So totality is uncertain. When you have picked up and packed, then it becomes assertive. All right. Okay. And one, Padula Bharti has asked about the patents. So in case of copyrights and patents, we have discussed about caveat emptor. The buyer is held responsible if he's not checking the goods before buying them. But one of the exceptions is for the trademarks and patents and brands where you're relying on the Cadbury for the dairy milk or Nestle for the Maggie, then you cannot hold the seller personally responsible because it is a brand which is liable for that. Okay, Devyani, not to worry. You can watch the lectures. We have already started. We have done contract tag and we have done 2 units of sale of goods. We are going to start with unit 3. So for the previous videos, you can definitely refer to the videos for the previous lectures. Okay. Okay. Fitness as to quality and use. Tamanna, kya nahi samajh aaya fitness as to quality and use mein? Riddhi says all clear, ma'am. So that's great. All right. So now fitness as to quality and use. Let's have a quick recap of this one also, and then we will start a new topic, that is transfer of ownership. So fitness of quality and fitness breach simply tries to tell you that if you have 3 conditions have to be satisfied, you're relying on the seller's skill and judgment. Seller is dealing in those goods and you have told him that we want this particular good, then he has to supply. Then there is a implied condition of quality and fitness that the goods have to be as per that particular good. And if it is not, then you can return the goods and you can claim the refund money back. Is that clear? Latent defects, Tanisha is asking. Tanisha, you tell me what is the meaning of latent defects? We have discussed it in the previous class. Okay, Tulsi Nathan has written all clear, ma'am. That's great. Nana is still asking the meaning of waiver. Waiver matlab give up kar dena means ab mujhe. Very bad students. You are all grown-up students. You should not do scribbling on the screen. Okay, I've disabled it now for all of you.
Harleen,
So
you can disable it now.
Yeah, I have. All right. So, yes, you were asking latent defects, Tanisha. Latent means hidden defects, jo dikhai nahi de sakte. With the naked eye, you cannot find. Suppose I have purchased this mobile phone and I could not make it out that there is any defect in this. But when I removed the cap, when I came home, I saw that there was a scratches which have been painted in such a way that it was not visible. So they are hidden defects. मतलब छुपा कर उसने कुछ fraud करने की कोशिश करी. Even if you refer to the Indian Contract Act, where you have read about other essential elements, so there was an element of coercion, fraud. In case of fraud, you must have read about these kind of defects. So you can correlate it with that topic also. Now let's begin Unit 3. Unit 3 says transfer of ownership and delivery of goods. So in the previous lectures, we have understood what are goods, how they are going to be delivered to the consumers. Now we have to understand that and what were the ways of making the delivery. Okay, Sandeep, remind me at the end. We will repeat the implied warranties. And any other doubts now? We'll once take it at the end also. Okay, don't worry. So what is the meaning of ownership? Ownership is also known as, the word ownership is also used in exchange of property in the goods or title of the goods, and one is the possession. So if I have purchased this mobile phone, I become the owner of this. So I get all the rights related to this mobile phone. Now I am the owner. But once, if it is my friend's mobile phone and I've borrowed it, then do I become the owner? No, ma'am, you don't become the owner. Can I break it? Can I throw it? No, it is my friend's phone. It is only a transaction of maybe bailment, or I'm just holding it. It's a possession. So in this chapter, we will be understanding the entire differences between what happens when the ownership is given, who is going to bear the risk. So we have discussed in Unit 1 also, whosoever is the owner bears the risk of loss. जो भी ओनर होता है गुड्स का, उसी की सारी जिम्मेवारी होती है, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है. Okay, Kamai Padir, when we open the module, that time you remind me, we will discuss this question. Okay, don't worry. Okay. So, all right. Congratulations. Pooja Yadav is another one who has come to share it. So, congratulations, Pooja Yadav. God bless you. Okay, so now we are going to understand all these points about Unit 3, how these goods are going to pass from one person to another. So how this session has been divided. First topic is relating to passing of the property. What is the meaning of property? Everyone knows now property means ownership. So if the seller is the owner, he bears the loss. If buyer is the owner, he bears the loss. So the loss passes with the property. Section 26 will teach us how this happens. Section 27 to 30 will specifically talk about transferring of title. Who are the people who can transfer? Non-owners cannot transfer the, non-owners cannot be the sellers. They cannot sell the goods. For selling the goods, you have to be the owner of the goods. And the last part is section 31 to 40, which we will be understanding about how the contract is performed. So section 26 to 44 will be taken up in the next session, that is on 9 July. In today's session, we will try to wind up section 18 till section 26 in today's class itself. So passing of property means passing of the ownership. If property has been passed to the buyer, then the risk is of the buyer and not of the seller. Now, whole of the chapter, I will be repeating this line again and again. Why? Because whole of the chapter revolves around this thing. So it's not that it is written over here or ma'am is telling you, it is all about this topic only. Okay. So what happens in this case is, say for example, you have purchased chocolates from a shop, and the moment you came out from the shop, a beggar came and he has stolen those chocolates from your hand. Now, can you go back to the seller and tell him that, a beggar was sitting outside, he has taken my chocolates, can you give me more? Is seller responsible for this loss of yours? Everybody says no, ma'am. Why? Because you were the owner, you will have to bear the loss. Now, what is the meaning of bear the loss? Do I have to go and pay something to someone? Bearing the loss means that अब ये मेरा नुकसान है, मुझे ही इसको पूरा करना है. Means if I have spent 100 rupees and purchased that chocolate, somebody has stolen it, I will again have to buy it for 100 rupees if I really want to eat it again. But seller is nowhere responsible for this because I have already purchased. At the same time, you go to a store to buy something, but you were seeing this mobile phone. Actually, you wanted to buy this one. So you were seeing this mobile phone and somebody else purchases it. So now you cannot buy it because somebody else has purchased it. Now, before anyone buys it, somebody has taken from the seller's shop and stolen it. Then it is seller's responsibility. Just because you're standing in the shop, you don't become responsible. Yes, but if you have picked up a thing and you have broken it by mistake, then definitely you are responsible. But if you're just standing over there and seller has to bear the loss if the property has not been passed to the buyer. Now, in this chapter, again, we have a quick recap of all the types of goods. हर category of good में property कैसे pass होएगी, that is what we are going to understand in this topic. So the goods which are identified and agreed are the specific goods. A certain, I told you they're not defined. Somebody was asking also right now a doubt. A certain word is not defined. It is judicially interpreted. Means case to case पे depend करेगा कि a certain goods कौन से. Large quantity में से when you pick up and you identify, it becomes the a certain. So if I tell you that I only want to buy this washing machine which is having a front load, what category of good it is? It is a specific good. I tell you out of these bicycles, there are only 2 bicycles. I want to buy this red bicycle which is having these kind of pedals. So it is a very specific thing कि मुझे एक ही red नजर आ रही है. तो ये specific है. All right, this is totally agree. Is it in a certain good or specific? Quickly tell me. Absolutely correct. It is a specific. But if out of these lots, all these packets of salt, I have to pick up one, then it is a certain. All of them lying together are unspecific. This is what we have done earlier also. Now here, every case is very unique. How does the property passes in each and every case? Number one, it is transferred at such time as the parties want to transfer it. It depends upon the conduct of the parties and circumstances of the case. Means we have to decide how the property and the ownership passes in case of a certain goods. Now here again we'll be using the word a certain and specific interchangeably. मैंने आपको बता दिया कि specific क्या होते हैं, certain क्या होते हैं, but law में हम इनकी जो passing of property है वो दोनों के लिए same, चाहे वो specific goods है चाहे वो certain है. The principle, the rules for passing the property is same. It is divided into three categories: the goods in deliverable state, the goods yet to be put in deliverable state, the goods when seller has to do something to put it in the deliverable state. Now this is word to word exactly the same examples as given in the study material, but I have tried to paste it some pictures over here so that when we visualize and we listen to the teacher, things get fed over our subconscious mind. So word to word, we are going to read it. What is the rule for the sale of specific goods for passing of the properties? Okay. So X buys a TV and asks for a home delivery. Property passes immediately. Now there was Mr. X who goes to the shopkeeper to buy a television. Now this television is already lying over there. It is an HD ready, 4K and everything has been decided. He wants to purchase this television. Now, obviously, TV is not a thing that you will just pick up and carry home, like you go to a grocery store to take ration or chips or biscuits and chocolates or wheat or whatever you want for the family. You pick up in the packets and you come up. But this is a specific good which is in deliverable state. It is ready to be taken, but you will have to ask someone to deliver it at your home. So once you have purchased the television and you come out of the shopkeeper's shop, you have made the payment. Do you become the owner? Yes or no? The property passes immediately. Property passes immediately in these kind of goods. Okay? Unconditional contract for specific goods in the deliverable state. Property passes when the contract is made, irrespective of the time and payment of delivery. So you went to the shop, you made the contract, I'm going to purchase this televisions from you. Contract has been made, property passes immediately. Now the delivery is pending, you cannot say that I have not become the owner. If on the way of delivery, if any damage happens to the goods, you will have to bear the loss. Why? Because the property has already been passed to the buyer. He has already become the owner. What happens in case of second category of goods? Now here X buys oil, but they need to be put in casks by the seller to make it deliverable. Means I went to the shopkeeper, I said I want to buy this particular type of oil, but put them in these drums. Casks means एक बड़े-बड़े drums थे जिसमें डालना था and फिर वो बताएगा कि अब आपकी goods ready है, आकर ले जाओ. So some packing, weighing, measuring, all these things were to be done. Something needs to be done to put the goods in deliverable state. Means once the goods have been put, oil has been put in the cask, it's covered properly, it's packed. Then he tells him that please come and take your goods. Property in the goods passes. Means अब buyer owner बन गया, उसको आकर अपने goods ले जाने चाहिए. He should come and take the goods. So number one case, whenever the contract is made, property passes. Second, when he put up these goods in the deliverable state, packing, weighing, measuring has been done, property passes. The third category is when something needs to be done to determine the price of the goods. So for example, your mother goes outside to the vendor, vegetable vendor, to buy the tomatoes. So he says, I will weigh the tomatoes and tell you the price. If it is 2 kgs, the price is different. If it is 5 kgs, the price is different. So for example, it is 2.5 kgs. So he will determine the price, then the property passes. That means some weighing, measuring, testing needs to be done for finding out the price. So what happened in this example was A sold the carpets to the company. So the people came and they said that we are going to sell you the carpets, but it will be decided that carpets were to be laid off. Children, have you ever noticed when you get the curtains for your house, So you tell the person that you take all these measurements and we want to make nice curtains for my room. And once the curtains are ready, please come them and put them in the on the windows. So here the contract gets complete when the guys will come and they will put these curtains properly placed them. Similarly, there was a contract with the company that they were going to make a carpet and whole of the office was to be carpets were to be laid down. Now, they have already made the carpets, but before they were laid in the office, lay down means usko bishana. जब उन्होंने ऑफिस में they had to spread these carpets, before that only they were stolen. हिंदी में एक्सप्लेन कर दीजिए. हाँ जी बच्चा, हिंदी में गीता, कारपेट्स को ले डाउन करना मीन्स कारपेट्स को स्प्रेड करना कमरे में, जैसे हम लगाते हैं ना फ्लोर पे कार्पेटिंग सारी लगानी थी. तो इससे पहले ही वो चोरी हो गए. बिफोर दिस वर्क कुड बी डन, द कार्पेट्स वर स्टोलन. Now you tell me who will bear the loss, the seller who has bought the carpets or the buyer will have to pay? Seller. Very good. Padla Bharti, Anupama, Shri Krishna, Vindhya. When I close the screen, I can see your short messages coming over here. Bhanu, Tanisha, everybody is correct. Prithi correct. So seller will have to bear the loss. Nana correct. Why? Why buyer is not bearing? Because buyer has not yet become the owner. He will become the owner once the goods have been displayed properly, and then he becomes the owner. Very good, Sarla. Bhanu, excellent. Yes, good, Sandeep. Now let's move ahead. So if the goods are in deliverable state, contract is made, property passes. If they are to be put in the deliverable state, then something needs to be done. He will do that, inform the buyer, property passes. And here the buyer has the notice, and for determining the price, buyer has to be informed that goods are ready. However, in case of unascertain goods, no property passes unless their goods are ascertain. Now, child, if you have gone to buy, say, for example, there is a shop, whole of the shop is full of Cadbury Dairy Milk chocolates. There is Cadbury Silk, there is Dairy Milk Hazelnut, Almond, kitni sari aati hai. You said, I want to buy Dairy Milk Hazelnut, Dairy Milk Silk. Do you become the owner immediately? I am the seller, I'll have to pick that chocolate and have to give it to you. Then only the ownership passes. Simple. So in case of unascertain goods, I will have to make the goods ascertain, and then only the property in the goods passes to the owner. Is that clear? Now let me just open the study material for all of you so that I can show you where we are in the study material also. So this is the chapter that we have started. Passing of the property. First, the property will get passed, means ownership will get passed, the goods will be delivered, and then the risk gets delivered to the buyer. So why it is important to understand the importance of the time of transfer? General rule is property prima facie passes with the property, the risk passes. But if the goods are lost, the burden will have to be borne by the person who is the owner when the goods are lost. When the goods are damaged by the third party's action, it is the owner who can take the action. So suit for price can be filed only when the property, then only he can fight. Now that's why it is important to understand. It says this chapter involves about the transfer of ownership. Now they have attached this new paragraph that we are trying to tell you that why it is important. क्योंकि क्यों समझना जरूरी है कि प्रॉपर्टी ट्रांसफर कब हो रही है? क्योंकि जब प्रॉपर्टी पास होगी तभी तो आप रिस्क बेयर करोगे ना. अगर मेरे पास ही गुड्स पड़े, आई एम द ओनर, आई एम हैविंग द गुड्स, हाउ कैन आई होल्ड यू रिस्पॉन्सिबल? Is that clear? Okay. So passing of property, it says first identification of goods has to be done. Buyer will get the ownership rights only when the goods are ascertained, and it depends upon what are your contract terms, what is the conduct of the parties, and what are the circumstances of the case. So primary rules are laid down in 3 different categories. Number 1, specific and ascertain goods के 3 cases हैं. When does the property passes? The first case is when the goods are in the deliverable state. So it says once the goods are ready, they can be taken home. So this is an unconditional contract that the property passes immediately when the contract is made. Even if I've not made you the payment, I become the owner. So television becomes the property of X immediately. Second case, you buy a laptop from the electronics store and you ask for the home delivery. However, there was some operating system which was to be installed. Now, when does the property passes? You tell me in the chat box. Operating system उसने install करना था अभी. So when do you become the owner? Once the operating system has been installed. Very good. Excellent, everyone. So once the system has been installed, then only you become the owner. And in this third category, we have already discussed this example of carpet. So if I ask you, the curtains were to be installed or put up in your house, and before the curtains could be put up, they were stolen. Then who will bear the loss, seller or buyer? Seller will bear the loss. Very nice, very nice. Good, Sarla, Nana, everyone. Nana is saying buyer. Why did you say buyer? Seller. Yes, good. It was for the previous one. Now let's discuss about the unascertain goods. Let me see if I have certain questions for you from this also. Just one by one we can do. Okay. Property in the goods means what? Let's do these MCQs before we proceed ahead, because this helps me to understand how well are you understanding. Everybody, I hope it's not possession. Clear? Everyone agrees it's the ownership. Some children have said both. Why are you saying both, Tulsinathan? First by mistake, you have said A is the correct answer. Very good, Sandeep, Naina, everybody. Sarla Devi, very good. Everyone is correct. 45 answers correct. Good. Who will bear the risk? The party who has the custody of the goods, or the one who has the ownership, or the one who is having the possession, or all of the above? Bhanu says custody. No. Acha, you have given the previous one. Ownership of the goods. Very good. Everybody has given the correct answer now. Ownership is the correct answer. If the specific goods are sold, property in the good passes to the buyer immediately, or at a later date, or when the buyer decides, or none of the above. Think and answer this one. Very nice, very nice. Everybody is correct. A is the correct answer. Immediately the property gets transferred. Clear? A sells 10 bags of sugar to B and the goods are in deliverable state. If the goods get destroyed, what happened? Where did the question go? Okay, wear your thinking caps once again and please see to this question. Who will be held liable? For the fourth one, which is the correct answer? Buyer or the seller? Children, please answer 4A or B, whatever you're answering. The goods are 100 bags of sugar, 10 bags of sugar. Goods are in deliverable state. Who will be liable? If the goods are in deliverable state, property passes immediately. Children, buyer is responsible. I don't know why some children are saying seller. Buyer is responsible. But in the same example, now have you read this question carefully? Example number 4. I give you 2 minutes. Read this question 5 clearly and write down why. Whatsoever is the answer, why you have taken this answer. I want to know the why also. The reason also. The answer for 5th one you have to write. Preeti, you're giving B answer for fifth one. Read the question 5 carefully and write down the answer. I give you 2 minutes. Write down the answer, the reason why also, whether it's seller or buyer, whosoever it is. Give me why also. So correct answers given by all of you. So where the goods are yet to be packed, they are to be taken, they are to be selected. So since the seller only remains the owner, that's why seller will bear the loss. Clear? So everyone has now given the correct answer for the fifth one also. So let's move ahead and understand about the uncertain goods. What is the meaning of uncertain goods, first of all? The goods which are lying in huge bulk, yet to be picked up, they are known as uncertain goods. Here the goods are either described by buyer or by the seller. The goods are put in the deliverable state or they are given to the courier for transmission. Now, this is a very important question. Many a times, 6 marks question come in the exam. How does the property passes in case of uncertain goods? Now, just imagine yourself going to a supermarket. How many of you enjoy going to the supermarket and carrying that trolley and picking up the goods of your choice? Have you seen whenever you go with your parents also, sometimes you enjoy picking up the chocolates and biscuits, packing it for yourself, right? So you are going in a supermarket and all the goods which are lying in the store, they are known as ascertained or uncertain? Uncertain, yes. Vindhya says, yes, ma'am, I enjoy doing those kind of purchases. So that's great. So they are all uncertain goods. So very nice, Tulsi Nathan. So when you pick them up and you put them in your basket, it becomes What does it becomes? Yes, Preeti. It becomes a certain. Very nice. Very nice. So now, at times you yourself pick up the goods, or at times you ask the seller to pick it up and put it in your basket. So here there is a contract for uncertain goods. They have to be according to the description and quality that is written. Means you have to see what kind of quality and description it is. They are in the deliverable state. Unconditionally, you have appropriated the goods. Now, I will explain you this meaning of the word unconditionally. First, we will understand the simple A, B, C, E, F, G. D को छोड़ दो अभी. ये सबको समझ आ गया. Uncertain goods होने चाहिए. Number 1. Description के according होने चाहिए. Deliverable state में होने चाहिए. Appropriation क्या थी? ये जो selection आपने करी. Appropriation means, please write it down. Appropriation means selection of the goods. Appropriation means selection of the goods. Either seller select the goods with assent of the buyer. Assent means consent. Means either seller will pick it up, buyer will say this I want, seller will pick it up, or the buyer will pick it up, seller से पूछेगा और वो ले लेगा. तो कोई भी. Appropriation means selection of the goods by the seller with buyer's acceptance or by the buyer with seller's acceptance. This assent may be express or implied. It can be given before or after appropriation. चाहे आप पहले उसका कंसेंट ले लो फिर अप्रोप्रिएट करो या बाद में ले लो, एक ही बात. क्लियर? So contract is for uncertain goods. They have to be as per the description and quality. Deliverable state में होना चाहिए. Can be done by anybody, by buyer or seller, before or after appropriation. Now you have to learn this. 6 marks question. We expect you to write these 6 points. Simple. Theory learn तो करनी पड़ेगी बेटा. You have no escape. आप सोचो कि मैम सारा लॉ समझ के हो जाएगा. समझ तो हम रहे हैं, but learning has to be done from your part. Okay? So goods must be unconditionally appropriated either by delivery to the agent or his buyer. What is the meaning of unconditional appropriation? अब मैंने जब goods carrier को दे दिए deliver करने के लिए, unconditional का meaning समझते हैं. Means I have given the goods, I am the seller, I have given the goods to the buyer or his carrier. Carrier means the transporter. I have given the goods to the railway authorities to take the goods to the buyer. Now, I am the seller. I did not reserve my right to disposal. Means, for example, there were 10 of these bottles, which were 100 of bottles to be delivered. I loaded these bottles in the truck and I told the truck driver, please take these goods and give it to the buyer. Now the goods have become of the buyer. They were uncertain. I ascertained them. I picked them up, packed them, and I have sent it on the truck. Delivery of goods to the carrier or his agent. This transporter, this truck driver is considered as the agent of the buyer. जैसे कि buyer के agent ने आकर मुझसे goods ले लिए. I have no role to play now. I have not reserved my right to disposal. Means अब ये goods buyer के हो गए. Buyer will take these goods home. He is responsible. If these goods get destroyed on the way, who will be held liable? Seller or the buyer? You tell me. I've closed the screen so that I can see your answers quickly. Who will be held responsible? Seller or the buyer? Tell me in the chat box who will be held responsible. Buyer, absolutely. Seller. Ananya says seller. Why do you say seller? Can you please repeat? Okay, buyer, Preeti, very good. So here, agent is acting, the transporter is acting as the agent of the buyer. Okay, let's read it from the module, then you will understand in a better way. So it says, once the goods have been given to the carrier means transporter. Jatin, I'll give you a chance to speak at the end. Don't raise your hands, children. Carrier का मतलब है transporter, जो goods हमारे लेकर जाएगा एक जगह से दूसरी जगह. Seller deliver the goods to the buyer or carrier for transmitting. Transmitting means ले जाने के लिए, transport करने के लिए. He does not reserve his right. He has unconditionally appropriated. Means once you have loaded the goods in the truck, and truck driver has been asked to take the goods to buyer Mr. B. A has not reserved his right. Reserving the right to disposal means, पहले तो right to disposal का मतलब क्या है? Right means, पहले हिंदी में समझाती हूँ फिर इंग्लिश में. Right means हक. Disposal मतलब कैसे उसे यूज करना. ऐसा हक कि गुड्स को कैसे यूज करना है वो मैंने रिजर्व कर लिया, अपने पास रख लिया. होता है राइट टू रिजर्व. इन इंग्लिश, I am reserving my right means I will decide how these goods have to be disposed, means how these goods have to be used. So in section 23 subsection 2, seller is not reserving his right. He has freely given it to the transporter. Please take these goods and give it to the buyer. So here buyer becomes the owner immediately, child, because my right to disposal is not reserved. So I have unconditionally appropriated goods. Let's understand with the example. A bill of lading. What is the bill of lading? Document of title, document showing title. Tell me. What is the meaning of bill of lading? Document of title or document showing title? So much of pain to see your messages, children. I have to go and click on each one of you. Very good. Document of title to goods. Excellent. So what is this document? This is the document of ownership. Very nice. And when I have given the document of ownership to buyer, buyer becomes the, जो मैंने bill of lading ही दे दिया उसको, I have given him the document of title. So what does he become? He becomes the owner. So now this railway parcel was given in the name of buyer and is sent to him. Ownership is transferred. Now if on the railway the goods get destroyed, who will bear the loss? All of you write down in your notebooks, buyer will bear the loss here. Why? Because, write down the reason, children, write down the reason. Because seller has not reserved his right to disposal of the goods. Seller has not reserved his right to disposal of the goods. ठीक है बेटा? Very nice. Sarla Devi has written in the chat box also. Good. So unconditional appropriation means when I'm not reserving my right to disposal, that means buyer will decide how the goods have to be disposed. Yes, Sri Krishna, absolutely. In that case, buyer will be responsible. Very good. Let's read the second example. B places an order with the bookseller. So M is a buyer. With the seller in Mumbai, he asked him to send the book by courier. Payment was to be made by check. Seller has sent the book. Book gets lost. Who will bear the loss? Who will bear the loss? Why buyer will bear the loss? You give me the reason. Anyone would like to raise their hands and give me the reason why he will bear the loss? Yes, Sandeep.
Yes, ma'am. Because the seller has no right of disposal of the goods.
Absolutely, because he has no right to disposal. Jatin, would you like to add another word? What kind of appropriation was it?
मैम बिकॉज बायर के पास तक गुड्स पहुंचे ही नहीं, इस वजह से सेलर ही उस जो लॉस है उसके लिए लायबल होगा.
No, seller is not liable in this case.
क्यों मैम?
Example number 5 we are talking about, child. Seller is not.
Ownership already passed.
Okay, anybody else would like to try? Sri Krishna, okay.
Ma'am, unconditional appropriation.
Absolutely. I have not attached any condition. Jatin, have you understood? I am appropriating the goods unconditionally. Means now you take these goods. This is your baby. You will have to bear the loss. Therefore, buyer will bear the risk of loss if the goods are on the way because he has done unconditional appropriation. So buyer has become the owner immediately. Yes, Padula.
Ma'am, here seller sends the goods by courier. So buyer will be the liable to the loss of the good.
So who will be liable?
Buyer, ma'am.
By?
Because seller has done what he has to do and he is.
You will have to write this line. And seller has not reserved his right to disposal. Number one. Number two, you will have to write this is an
Unconditional appropriation.
Yes. All of you write down in your module. Jatin, have you understood now?
मैम एक बार अनकंडीशनल एप्रोप्रिएशन बताने के बाद उसमें डाउट है थोड़ा.
हाँ, अनकंडीशनल एप्रोप्रिएशन का मतलब होता है कि मैंने कोई कंडीशन नहीं लगाई. मैंने ये नहीं कहा कि जब मुझे मेरा पैसा मिलेगा तभी गुड्स तुम्हारे बनेंगे. मैंने तो गुड्स भेज दिए बायर के पास, तो बायर मान लिया जाता है कि बायर ओनर बने. कंडीशनल लगाना, अनकंडीशनल मतलब बिना किसी कंडीशन. तो 2 पॉइंट्स लिखेंगे सभी लोग. एवरीबडी विल राइट डाउन दीज 2 पॉइंट्स. नंबर 1, हियर द सेलर हैज not reserved his right to disposal. Number 2, this is the case of unconditional appropriation of goods. Hence, buyer becomes the owner. कौन ओनर बन जाएगा बच्चे यहाँ पे? Hence, buyer becomes the owner. Therefore, buyer will bear the loss. Therefore, buyer will bear the loss. Put your hands down, everyone. Shri Krishna, conditional appropriation में हम समझेंगे क्या होता है. That is a different story. Okay, Prabhat Roy, good answers. Very good, Reeni Chauhan. Excellent. Those who have written in the chat box, that is also good. तनीषा, डिस्पोजल वाला दोबारा समझा दो. डिस्पोजल का मतलब बच्चे होते हैं गुड्स को कैसे यूज करना है, डिस्पोज कैसे करना है. जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल तनीषा, ये आपकी वाटर बॉटल है, मेरी वाटर बॉटल है. मैं इसे कैसे डिस्पोज करूंगी, कैसे इसका इस्तेमाल करूंगी या कैसे इसको खराब करूंगी, उसका राइट किसके पास है? मेरे पास, क्योंकि मैं इसकी ओनर हूं. अब I have sell this bottle to Tanisha. Tanisha makes me the payment and this bottle becomes of Tanisha. Then who will have the right to use this water bottle? Tanisha or Harleen ma'am? Buyer will have the right because she becomes the owner. Very good. So इसको बोलते हैं disposal. अब कौन decide करेगा इसको कैसे dispose करना? Buyer will decide. ठीक है बेटा? Okay. Everyone is clear? Okay. Let's move ahead. So these are the 6 points that you have to write. So this is the same point, unconditional appropriation by delivery to the buyer or agent. We have done these examples also. Now, before going to section 24, I want to do conditional appropriation. So let's do section 25 first. So these are the valid appropriation of the goods as needed. Goods must match with the description and quality. They must be indeliverable. Unconditional means he is not reserving his rights. Appropriation can be done by either seller or buyer before or after the appropriation. The rule is seller deliver the goods to the buyer or his bailee for transmitting. He does not reserve his right. Any accidental loss, seller will not be responsible. These are the brief notes that I've made for you. All these PPTs are uploaded on the portal. You can download it and you can learn it from that. But still, each and every page of study material you will have to read. So exam में 2 बारी 2018 में भी आया था, 2024 and 25 में भी आया. What are the provisions relating to sale of uncertain goods and its appropriation? You will have to write all these points. That they should match with the quality. All these 6 points will be written, and plus you will get this point of right to disposal, not reserving his right. Now let me do exam section 25 with you first. What is the meaning of reserving the right to disposal? We have understood when he is not reserving. Under section 23 subsection 2, seller is not reserving his right, means he has given the goods to the buyer or his transporter. Buyer becomes the owner immediately. But if X sent the furniture in this truck, so this is the truck which is carrying the furniture, and he tells the truck driver not to deliver the goods until my payment is made. हिंदी में अब उसने ट्रक ड्राइवर को बोल दिया कि सुन भाई, बायर को ना गुड्स मत देना जब तक मेरी पेमेंट ना आ जाए, या फिर मुझे चेक मिला है, वो चेक जब तक क्लियर ना हो जाए तो बायर को गुड्स मत दे. Can you say that here seller has reserved his right to disposal? Goods को क्या करना है, इसका right किसके पास है? अब seller के पास. Here the property will pass only when the payment is made. Therefore, it is known as the conditional appropriation. It is known as the conditional appropriation. अब सबको समझ आ गया? जब मैंने right reserve कर लिया है तो conditional appropriation है. जब मैंने right reserve नहीं करा है, so here Padula Bharti asked, ma'am, now who will be responsible if the accident happens of this lorry? You tell me, Padula Bharti, who will be responsible? Preeti, everybody tell me, who will be responsible here? Of course, the seller, because he has reserved his right to disposal. Excellent, excellent, everyone. Sarla, Mosami, very good. Shri Krishna, Padula Bharti yourself also. Naina, everybody is correct. Seller will be held responsible. Yes, Riddhi, good. Yes, why? Because the ownership has not been given to the buyer. Therefore, seller is only handing the goods. This is conditional appropriation. Here, seller is only held responsible. Now, let's do section 24 also. And or you want to take a break here first? Okay, let's take a small break here. It's already 3 o'clock. So, read section 23, subsection 2, vis-a-vis section 25, so that you can understand the comparison between both of them. And also read section 18, 19, 20, 21. All these three sections also, which are related to a certain and specific. So, let's take a small break here and then we will proceed again. But please understand these because I'm going to ask you questions. So, we are taking a break here. All right. So let's proceed ahead. Let's take your doubts first. Tanisha is asking something. Mausami, if the goods loss occur when the goods are on the way, conditional appropriation, then seller will be held liable. Absolutely correct, Mausami. If it's a conditional appropriation, means seller is reserving his right to disposal, then seller is held responsible. If he is not reserving his right to disposal, he has given the freedom to the agent, to the buyer to give the goods to him, then buyer is held responsible. So all of you can write down under section 23, subsection 2 conditions, buyer is held responsible, and under section 25, seller is held responsible. Clear? Give example of assent before appropriation. Okay, who is this? Tanisha. So if you're saying the goods, the property gets transferred, assent means consent. So for example, the seller asks you, which biscuits do you want, ma'am? So you give your consent before appropriation. Or he picks up and keeps it in your basket. After appropriating, he's asking you consent. Do you want to buy this one? So this is just a general statement, how you're selecting the goods. Okay. So I told you those 6-7 points. Imagine yourself in the supermarket. You will learn them. It becomes very easy. I hope, Adira Parthi, your point is also clear now. Okay. Prabhat Roy, seller, answer has been given. Anybody else having? Tulsi Nathan, any doubts? Very good. Buyer in that case, seller over here. बिल्कुल ठीक लिखा है आपने. Ravi Kumar, Naina Verma, all your answers are correct, child. Good, Geeta. Akshita, Tamai, goods become uncertain, property passes only. Yes, yes. Tamai Padir, absolutely correct that you've written in the chat box. Khawad, your answers were also correct. Jayavant, good. Mystica, nice. Okay, now I can only see the answers, no more doubts. So let's proceed ahead. Now, section 24 is another very, very interesting section. Goods sent on approval or sale or return basis, how does the property pass? Now, say for example, there were certain cartons of goods, boxes of goods that you have decided to purchase, but you said that first send me these boxes. I will see whether I want to buy them or not. So here the goods are sent on approval, means if he approves, yes, I want to buy, then he will pay the price. Or the buyer also has the right to return the goods. So sale will happen on approval or return basis. You must have done this kind of similar concept in your accounts also, where the goods are sent on approval and return basis. How does the property passes over here? Now, this is section number 24. We are doing how does the property passes. Number 1, we did in specific goods. Then there were 3 stages. Then we did uncertain goods. There were 2 stages. Now we are doing the 3rd category, that is goods sent on approval and return. Here the property passes when he signifies his assent. Signifies ka matlab gives his acceptance or approval. Signify karna means gives his approval or acceptance. Or he is retaining the goods without giving any notice of rejection, means you like the goods and you have kept it. Suppose 1 week's time was given. That 10 days have passed, you have not returned the goods. That means now you have become the owner. Or he does something which is equivalent to acceptance. He packs some of his goods in these cartons and sell them further. That means now you have shown your acceptance. Suppose you have taken lots of basmati rice from someone on sale or approval and return basis. But if you have opened the packets of the rice and you have cooked khichdi or biryani in the house, now you have reused it. Now you have eaten the rice. Now you cannot return it. So property has been passed. You have become the owner. So these 3 conditions you have to learn. When does the buyer become the owner? When he gives his consent, when he retains the goods, or he does something. Now there's a beautiful example of this guitar, which P bought this guitar on the condition that if I like this guitar, I will buy it. Otherwise, I'm going to return it. So he has made the sale on approval and return basis. It's not compulsory that he will buy it. He has a choice. He has an option that if he likes it, he will buy it. Otherwise, he will return. Okay? Now he was given a time period of 1 week. Now, when does the property passes? If he has purchased and he has not returned it for 1 week, he becomes the owner. He gives his approval in 1 week that yes, I liked it, I'm going to buy it, then he becomes the owner. Or 1 week has passed, he did not return it, he becomes the owner. Now, what did P do? P went to an event and he played this guitar. There was a music audition which was being happening, and P went there and he used this guitar for playing at an event, and he also earned money. Now you're using the thing. You have shown your acceptance while playing it in an event. So now it means that you were the owner. Then only you can play somebody else's guitar. You will not play, na? So here your acceptance, you have done something which proves that you have become the owner of the goods. Therefore, now you become the owner. Clear here? But if there is a condition that cash has to be paid, then only you become the owner. Then children, unless and until the cash is not paid, you will not become the owner. See, for example, A sent the goods to the buyer. B, A is in Delhi and he wants to send these goods to the buyer B in Pune. So he using railway authorities to help him to deliver the goods to Pune. So he makes a railway receipt. He sends the original copy to buyer B. Buyer B will go and show this railway receipt to the railway authorities, and this is how the goods will get transferred. Yes, ma'am. Now, my first question is, if it is an unconditional appropriation, section 23, subsection 2 is applicable. Then if the goods get destroyed, who will be responsible? Everybody will write down seller. Everybody agrees with me? Seller is responsible. Absolutely correct. Yes, Rini Chauhan, it's absolutely like that. Riddhi says if the goods are in transit, seller do not reserve and the buyer is liable if the goods are in transit. Yes, yes, absolutely. Seller is responsible. Listen to my example. Everything will get clear to you. Very good, Drashti Jan. Akshat Jan, nice. So, but if it was the case of section 25 and the seller reserves his right to disposal, who will be held responsible? Sorry, section 23, subsection 2, you all have written correct, buyer is held responsible. And under section 25, seller will be responsible because he has reserved his right to dispose. Clear to everyone? Some students' answers which they have written in the past, they are showing now. All right? Yes, Tanya Sharma, that's what we're doing. Now, if he has reserved his right under section 25 and he tells him that only seller tells the railway authorities, only when my cash is paid, na, then only you give the goods to the buyer. Don't give him before that. Here, the property will pass only when the cash is paid. Till then, who is the owner? So, in this case also, seller remains the owner of the goods. Who remains the owner? Mohammad Siraj, I hope you're understanding now. Manikanta, all these students who have given the answers previously are not replying now. Ananya. Prima facie kya hota hai? Sandeep Sahu, we will be doing section 26 beta, then you will understand. Yes, specific goods mein Sandeep Sahu, immediately the goods get transferred, okay? Okay, now let me show you the same things from the study material also. So this is clear, everyone. Section 23, subsection 1. Section 24, these are the three cases. He bought a musical instrument after week. He does not return. Then he becomes the owner. He has decided to purchase the instrument on his own. On the basis of sale or return, it is his option is given that whether he wants to buy the goods or he wants to return it. If he pledges the goods with a third party, then what happens? Now, very, very important point under section 24. If these three conditions, means third condition padhiye, if he does something which is equivalent to accepting, means pledges the goods. One, that he was selling the goods, like I was selling the goods, those cartons to somebody else. One is I have pledged the cartons with the bank and I have taken a loan. Now, if I have taken the goods on sale and return basis, and I have taken the goods on sale and return basis, I was supposed to return it after 1 month. How will I accept the goods? Number one, I will say, yes, I want to buy this. Then who becomes the owner? Buyer. Okay, likhte jao chart. If I have retained it for more than 1 month, then also who becomes the owner? Buyer. Absolutely correct. If I have sold these goods to somebody else, then also I become the owner. But now listen very carefully. I am not selling the goods. If I have pledged these goods with the bank, do I become the owner? Yes or no? Abhishek says yes. Others all have said no. Lena, very good. Yes, I become the owner. Kya likha hua hai? Read the line. Manikanta, Sandeep Thakur, Priti, everybody good now. Yes is the correct answer. Ridhi Bhanu. Because right now he has the property of the bank. Yes. No. It's not the... When you pledge, it's a special property. What are you doing? Devyani, good. So now I have become the owner because मैंने अपने इन goods को pledge कर दिया है. Then also I become the owner. Let's understand with the help of example. If he pledges the goods with a third party, his inability to return does not mean his selection to buy. Let us see what will happen. Here, if he is pledging the goods, see when the sale and return is happening, he has an option to buy the goods. Denomination over the goods showing an unequal intention to buy means हो सकता है मैं goods buy करूं. Option का मतलब होता है buy करूं या return. If he pledges the goods, his inability to return the goods does not mean his selection to buy. Just because he has not returned does not mean that he has purchased the goods. A delivered the goods, jewelry on sale and return basis to B. Let's understand example number 7. Very carefully you have to understand, children. Now example number 7, 8 and 9 are very, very important and very interrelated. So pay attention. Example 7 में क्या हो रहा है? Seller कौन है? A. Buyer कौन है? B. Sale किस पे हो रही है? Sale और return basis में. So he has given certain jewelry to be on sale and return basis, means if you like the goods, you buy them or you return. But B has further pledged the jewelry with C. Ownership jewelry has been transferred to B because he has adopted the transaction by applying the third principle. ऊपर जो 3 principle दिए हैं उसने third principle apply करा. He has shown his acceptance by pledging the goods with somebody else. Here A has no right against the C. He can only recover the price from B. Why does it say that the price can be recovered from B? Can anyone give me the answer? Here it is written, third condition has been fulfilled. He has pledged the goods, means B has accepted the goods. So what has B become in this case? B has become the... Very good, because if B has become the owner, buyer has become the owner. Very nice, very nice. This is what I want to understand. Since he has become the owner, now he can only recover the prize money from the buyer. He cannot take the goods. But if you'll see in example number 9, I told you in sale on cash or return basis, unless cash is not paid, you will not become the owner. So here if the jewelry was given to be on cash or return basis, it was clearly written in the contract that it is seller's property. A's property means it will remain seller's property until the price is not paid. But B pledged the jewelry. Here the ownership is not transferred. Pledge is not valid. He can go and take the goods back from C. एग्जाम्पल 7 में आपने समझा कि वो गुड्स नहीं ले सकता, प्राइस रिकवर करेगा. एग्जाम्पल 9 में व्हाई ही कैन टेक द गुड्स बैक. गिव मी द आंसर. एग्जाम्पल 9 में व्हाई ही कैन टेक, because ownership has not been transferred since he has not paid the cash. Shri Krishna, Bhanu, Naina, Padula Parthi, everybody, Shivansh. There is a condition. Very good, Shivansh. Others, clear? Everybody, Naina Sharma, very good. Ownership is not transferred. Therefore, he can go and he can take the goods back. Reni Chauhan, nice. Everybody has given the correct answer. Now I'm going to close the screen, because when I close the screen, I can read the chat box. You can give the suggestions to others also. So when we close the screen, your chat box messages become visible. Otherwise, I have to go to the 111 and then open. Now, example number 8, he says he has given a motor car on a proven and return basis to B. B returns it after trial in August 22. It was not returned within the reasonable time. Therefore, A is not bound to accept it. And B. Now, what happened? Here, the goods were to be returned by March 2020. But you are returning in August 2020. Is the seller bound to accept the goods? Yes or no? Will the seller is bound to accept? No. Why? Because the time period has lapsed. Now, who has become the owner? Absolutely no. Buyer has become. Good. Section 25, goods were given to the truck driver, told him not to deliver until the payment is made. This is reservation of right. Under example 10, who remains the owner? Buyer or the seller becomes the owner? Under example number 10, who is the owner? Buyer or seller? Shubhra, Bhanu, Sarla, Good, Sandeep, Preeti. Everybody has written. Shri Krishna, Mosmi, Shivansh, Naina Verma, Tanisha, Divyani, good. Everybody says seller is the owner. So लिखकर भी रख लेना यहाँ पे. In this case, seller is the owner. He will only bear the loss. But there are two circumstances under which the right to disposal may be reserved. अब वो आपको section 25 बता रहे हैं कब कब आपने right to reserve करना होता है. Number 1, if the goods are given to the railway authorities for transmission, and the order of the seller is to not to give the goods. When he has prima facie reserved, मतलब उसने बोल कर, he has spoken this thing कि नहीं देने goods. He has spoken, he has said that not to give. Or he has drawn a bill of exchange, or check is used, or document of title is used where he wants that his bill should be accepted. Okay, then also it will not be considered as, it will be considered as seller's ownership. Section 25 deals with conditional appropriation. 23 subsection 2 deals with unconditional appropriation. So are my students now ready for a test? Certain questions that we have to do. We are going well quite in time, so that's great. So what is the meaning of appropriation of goods? Appropriation means separating the goods, packing the goods, delivery of goods to the carrier without reserving his right, all of the above. Please tell me the answer for the sixth one. संदीप साहू इज आस्किंग मैम रिटर्न बेसिस मतलब रिटर्न मतलब अगर आपको गुड्स ना अच्छे लगे आपके पास ऑप्शन है या तो आप इनको खरीद लो या वापस करो. मणिकांता, everybody has given the correct answer. Mohammad Siraj, where are the answers? Gagan, good. No, it's all of the above, Gagan. It's not just the segregation. Shivansh, good. Aditya, if he has paid the money to the seller already. So he have already paid the money, then it is buyer's duty, Aditya. Okay, all of the above is the correct answer for sixth one. What is the seventh one? Where the seller reserves the right to disposal. Ownership still remains with the seller. True or false? Goods, Mausami, Shubhra, Mystica, Mohammed, Padla Parthi, everybody is good. True is the correct answer. Read this question very carefully and no, this you cannot do. This one. Samuel purchased a television. Everyone read. Everyone is going to read the question and then we are going to discuss it. Here he is purchasing a television from Arun. First 3 days he will check the quality. If he is satisfied, he will pay. Otherwise, he will return the television set. On the second day, the TV set is destroyed because of an earthquake. Arun demands his money. Is Samuel liable to pay the price? Who will ultimately bear the loss? Have you read the question, children? Tell me who will bear the loss. Samuel will bear the loss, okay. Seller will bear the loss. Samuel, seller. Okay, everybody is saying seller. तो easy question था, सबको समझ आ गया. Sale on return basis है, goods अभी return नहीं हुए तो लिखना कैसे है? First you will write down the provisions of the law according to as per the provisions of the Sale of Goods Act. When the goods are sent on approval and return basis, either he signifies his end, does something or does not signifies but retain the goods, then the goods become his. In case of an agreement to sell specific goods, without any fault of the buyer and seller, goods become so damaged. Now you remember section 8. Section 8 का भी reference देना है यहाँ पे. Natural calamity से goods खराब हो गए हैं, आपकी गलती नहीं थी. Before the risk passes, agreement has to be avoided. Here, Samuel could take decision before he could take any decision on sale on. He has taken the television set from the owner, Arun, who has given the goods for 3 days. But before he could take any action, it goods get destroyed. Here, the property has not been passed. That is, buyer has no condition of Section 24 satisfied. Risk has not been caused. So the seller will have to bear the final loss. That is, Mr. Arun will have to bear the loss. Why? Because the risk is not passed, agreement is avoided. He is not liable to pay the price. Please note down the answers. See how the answers have to be written. It is very, very important to know the answers. Is this clear, children? I hope no doubts in this one. Simple thought. Okay. Another question. Read this question and give your answer. All right. Akash purchased 100 kgs of wheat from Bhaskar. 180 rupees is the price per kg. He says that the wheat is in the warehouse, the custody of Kishore. The warehouse keeper, Kishore, confirmed to Akash that he can take the delivery from him. Till then, he is holding the wheat on Akash's behalf. Before he could pick the goods from the warehouse, the whole wheat was now flowed in flood. Akash wants his price on the contention that no delivery has been made. आप मुझे बताइए, ओनरशिप ट्रांसफर हुई है, डिलीवरी ऑफ गुड्स हुआ है, हु इज गोइंग टू बेयर द लॉस एंड व्हाई? I want the answers for case study 4. Why are you saying Samuel is liable? I hope now you have read, children, the correct answer. Seller will be held liable in the before case. I'm looking for your answers in the chat box. Akash is liable, Nana says. Okay. Riddhi says buyer. No. Akshat Jain. This is constructive delivery. Buyer is responsible. Very nice. I like the word constructive delivery. Very good. I was looking for this word from all of you. Yes, Tanya Sharma. Section 8. The previous one you answered. Mohammad Siraj. Okay, Mohammed is written. Akash is not right. He will bear the loss. Ownership will be passed with him. Akash will bear the loss. Not. Why did you say Mohammad Siraj? Akash will bear the loss? Because what has happened? Has the goods been delivered? Yes or no? Yes. What kind of delivery was it? It was a constructive delivery. Very nice. Everyone has given the correct answer. Let's read how you have to write the answer. It is a very simple question, not demanding any sections. You have to tell them there are 3 modes of delivery. When the delivery is made without any change in the custody or actual things, it is called constructive delivery. Or delivery by acknowledgement. Constructive takes place when the person in possession acknowledges to the buyer that I'm holding the goods on your behalf. Here, it is clearly possession of the wheat was transferred through constructive delivery. Akash is not right. He cannot claim the price back. He's asking ki mera वापस दीजिए पैसे. He cannot claim the price means he will have to bear the loss. Why? Because he has become the owner of the goods. Nice question. Did you enjoy? Mystica, are you understanding now? Very good. Jayavant, good. Everybody has given the correct answer. Let's have another question. Let's do one more case study. Okay. Please read case study 7. I want all of you to write the answers in the chat box. It's very, very simple. A, deliver the horse. B should try the horse for 8 days and return. He did not like the horse. On 3rd day, the horse died without the fault of B. A files a suit for the recovery of prize money. Can he recover the prize? Please write the answer beautifully, children, as you would have been writing in the exam. Yes. On the 3rd day, the horse has died. Can he recover the money? Okay, he cannot. Somebody says yes, somebody say no. Why you cannot recover? Because he's not the owner yet. Excellent, Preeti, Mystica. Very nice answers. Shubhra. Shubhra has given the previous one only. Very nice. Excellent, Anna Verma. All of you, many of you have given the answers, but very difficult to go into each one of the chat and then I have to read the answer. So let me show you the correct answer. So A delivered the horse on sale and return basis. Now, how are you going to write them? You will write provisions of the case first, section 24. No need to write section. I am writing just to make you understand that this topic relates to that point. So you will write as per the provisions of Sale of Goods Act. This is related to sale and return basis. He has simply given you the conclusion. You will write those 3 points. Now, what is the facts happening? It was decided that the horse is to be used for 8 days, but the 3rd day only the horse died. Here, the ownership still belongs to the seller A. B will be considered as the owner only when B does not return the. So the suit filed is invalid. He cannot recover the prize money from B. See, children, under section 24, the seller is undertaking the risk of giving you the time period. Seller ने अपनी मर्जी से आपको बोला ना कि आप 8 दिन के लिए goods ले जाओ. Some children are writing, ma'am, why the seller will bear the loss? Goods horse has died. So it is with his permission only that you have taken the goods, right? Not without his permission. Okay. Case study A. Buyer took delivery of 20 tables from the seller on sale and return basis without examining them. Subsequently, he sold 5 tables to his customers. Customer lodged a complaint of some defects in the table. Buyer want to return the tables to the seller. Was the buyer able to return the goods? Now, on sale on return basis, 20 tables have been sent. He has taken without examining. First of all, caveat emptor is also applicable over here. Section 24 is also applicable. Very, very interesting question. Very, very interesting question. इस तरह का क्वेश्चन एग्जाम में आ जाए तो बहुत ही मजा आता है. पढ़ लिया सबने? 2 मिनट ले लो, जल्दी पढ़ लो पूरा क्वेश्चन. Anyone would like to raise their hands and discuss this answer with me? The question is there in front of you. Anyone would like to share their points? Raise your hands and tell me the answers. Don't be afraid to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. Why only 4-5 students raise their hands? Same students. What about others? Okay, let's hear Riddhi. Yes, Riddhi.
Yes, ma'am. I am audible.
Yes, you are.
Ma'am, in this case, the buyer is responsible because there is implementation of caveat emptor, doctrine of caveat emptor, in which the buyer is responsible. Let the buyer be aware. And ma'am, when he sold these goods to the another customer, the customer claimed the damages and reject the goods, but he cannot reject the goods to the
One
seller.
part of Riddhi's answer is correct. That is, caveat emptor was to be applied. Okay, that's correct. What is about the sale and return basis? What implication is happening, Sandeep Thakur?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What is the application of section 24 here? Does the buyer become the owner? Yes or no?
No.
Right? Okay.
Ma'am, because ma'am, I go 3 points.
Okay, not a problem. Yes, Sri Krishna.
Ma'am, properties was not yet transferred on in the sale or return basis.
Okay. Tulsi Nathan.
Ownership
Yeah.
passed to the buyer, and the right to return the goods is lost, ma'am.
Right to return the goods is lost. Why? That's what I'm asking. That's good. Yes, Preeti.
Ma'am, because as per section 24, the buyer has sold the goods to someone, and he by this he has become the owner of the goods, so he cannot return the goods.
Under which clause he is becoming the owner? Can anyone tell me? First, second, or third?
Third.
Yes, absolutely correct. This is what I wanted to hear. Good. Thank you, Preeti. Okay, put your hands down, everyone. So here, children, the buyer is selling the goods further to someone before those 20 days expiry. There the buyer has played the guitar in an event. So two important things are involved in this question. One, the buyer becomes the owner when he transfers the goods. So the person to whom the goods are given either accepts them, adopts a transaction, or he retains the goods, or he does something which is equivalent to acceptance. In the given case, seller has delivered 20 tables. Out of this, he has sold 5 tables. It means that he has accepted 5 tables out of 20. When the buyer received the complaint, he wanted to return the tables. So according to the provisions of law, he can return the 15 tables, but not the 5 tables which he has owned. The tables are accepted and also the buyer is responsible under the rule of caveat emptor. Now, children, many answers can be given to this question in the way that answer has to be the caveat emptor in section 24 and buyer is responsible for those 5 tables. How you represent it, how you write it is completely your choice. But these 2 points, if you're covering, some children will write it in the same way. Some, like we just spoke to 5-6 students. आपने सबका आंसर सुना, हर कोई अपना perspective बता रहा है, and most of them were right? So it's very important to understand the thing and keep on doing your writing practice because writing is what actually going to matter. Want to do one more? Section 28 we have not done. How can we do so many questions? Let's go back to our sections now. So very, very easy section, that is section 26, the last section of today's class. Risk prima facie passes with the property. What is the meaning of the word prima facie? Prima facie means apparently, how it is appearing, how it is visible. If this water bottle is mine, I am the seller, it is in my store, I am the owner. If it gets break, I will bear the loss. I have sold it to Mr. X, Mr. X becomes the owner. If it gets broken, Mr. X, the buyer, will bear the loss. So section 26, all of you write down. Whosoever is the owner of the goods will bear the loss of goods. This is what section 26 tells us, that prima facie. Till the goods are not sold, they are seller's responsibility. Like I have to give you the television's delivery. Till it is in my shop, contract is not made, I am responsible. Once I've made the contract, goods in deliverable state become yours. To be put in deliverable state, after putting them, it becomes yours. To be done something and the buyer to be informed, after the buyer has been informed, it becomes yours. Till the time, it is in my responsibility that I am the seller. But in two conditions, section 26 says property will not be responsible of the owner. If the delivery is delayed by the fault of the seller or buyer, then whosoever is at the default, that party will be liable. Let's understand with the help of example. There was a seller, Mr. A. He calls up the buyer, Mr. B, and tells him that all the wheat bags, 100 bags of wheat that you have ordered are ready. They have been put in the boxes and they have been put in the sacks, and all the sacks are packed and they are lying in my godown. Please come by 5th July and pick them up. Now today is 7th July. Buyer has not come till now and the goods get destroyed. Who made a delay? Buyer made a delay. Who will bear the loss? My children will tell. Who will bear the loss? Excellent. Buyer will bear the loss. Why? Because he has made a informed. Clear, all of you? But the duties and liabilities of the seller or buyer will be as a bailee for the other party, even when the risk has been passed. Now, what is the meaning of bailee? Bailee means a man of an ordinary prudence. The way he is taking care of his goods, the seller is also bound to take care of them. Now, suppose these goods were lying in the godown of Mr. A. Fire occurred and A thought of saving his own goods, and he thought that these are buyer's goods. He has only not come, let them get destroyed. Should he do this? Law says no. He should be acting as a bailee. जानबूझकर थोड़ी ना आप, क्योंकि अब आपकी ओनरशिप नहीं रही तो आप गुड्स को फायर में डाल दोगे, ऐसे तो नहीं ना करना चाहिए हमें. हमारी ड्यूटीज एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एज अ बेली तो रहेगी. Even when the risk has been passed, means you are still responsible as a bailee. What should he do? He should try to save his goods also. Okay, let's understand with the help of very interesting example. Again, section 26 only. The risk prima facie passes with the problem. So once what happened, there was a shopkeeper, Mr. Ram, and there was a buyer, Sham, who comes to Ram's shop. Sham buys all those grocery stuff that you all my children love buying, chocolates, biscuits, cold drinks and everything, and the bag has become very heavy. Now Sham says that, look Ram, I want to go and buy some other stuff also in the stationery shop. I have to buy some notebooks. I want to make notes for my law subject. Can I keep my chocolates and biscuits packet in your shop? He says, yes, this is your shop only. Why don't you keep it? Meanwhile, a thief comes in the shop and he steals all those chocolates and chips which belong to Sham. Who will be responsible for this loss? Ram or Sham? Seller or buyer? Absolutely correct. I don't know why two children have written seller and shopkeeper. Buyer is the correct answer. And those who are saying shopkeeper, can you raise your hand, please? कौन है जिसने shopkeeper? हाँ, Tanisha. Tanisha, raise your hand. Why do you say shopkeeper, child? I said I have sold the goods. You have made payment also. You have just left your goods. Now you are responsible because you are the buyer. So everybody has given the correct answer. Buyer is responsible. Do you think I should have acted as a bailee or not? Okay, not a problem. Tanisha, it's okay. So can you say that seller should have acted as a bailee? The duties and responsibilities of Ram remain as a bailee. That means जब वो अपने goods बचा रहा था तो उसको शाम के भी goods को बचाना चाहिए था. ये थोड़ी ना कहेगा कि शाम के goods ले जाओ, मेरी कोई responsibility. Very nice, very nice. So everybody has written they should have acted as a bailee. समझ आ गया? Easy था? Now let me see if we have any questions related to section 26. Okay, very nice, interesting question I have for you. Read the question and then I'm going to close the screen and then I will ask you the answers. Read it very nicely. G sold certain goods to H for a price by issuing the invoice. Payment in respect was not received on that day. Goods are packed and lying in the godown of G. G is the seller. H is the buyer. Goods were inspected by H's agent and were in the order. The dues were settled in cash, means cash में payment भी कर दी गई. After receiving cash, seller asked the buyer H that the goods should be taken away from the godown because he wanted to store other goods. H did not take the goods. Mr. G kept them outside in the open space and due to that, the goods got damaged. Decide who will be responsible. Take 2 minutes more. Again, read this question And raise your hands for this answer. All the students. On the portal also, I hope you are understanding. Let me just see the students on the portal also once. Yes, very good answers given by all of you. Shamreen. Ishani, Shraddha, I hope that everything is clear. Varun Agarwal, Sameer Singh. Sameer Singh is asking meaning of prima facie. Prima facie means apparently, जो दिखाई दे रहा. अभी देती हूँ बेटा इसका example. Varun Agarwal, all your answers are correct. Pratham Pandey, good. Mansi, okay, correct. Miss Dolcy, Shivansh, everybody. Ishani, Shraddha, good. G is responsible. Okay. Duty as a baby. Very good. Okay. Sameer Singh, I will explain you the meaning of prima facie after this question. Okay, who wants to explain? Yes, sir. Again, same 3-4 hands only now. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, here in such case, Mr. G, seller is liable because ma'am, seller not act to do as a bailey. He buyers goods outside.
Very nice. Good. He should have taken care of the goods. Yes, Sri Krishna. Okay, Miss Dolcy.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, Mr. G is liable as he has not taken the care as the man of ordinary prudence would take, as there was rain and goods destroyed. It was duty of G to take the goods inside the shop.
Excellent. Very nice. Akshay.
Ma'am, Mr. H is responsible, ma'am.
Mr. H is responsible. Why do you say that, Akshay?
Because he was delayed, as he delayed the delivery of the goods being done.
Okay, absolutely correct. Okay. Yes, Preeti.
Ma'am, buyer will be responsible because he didn't pick the goods on time, and the seller is responsible because he didn't took the care of the goods properly.
Excellent. Oh my God, sometimes I feel that these CA foundation students are so brilliant and they pay so much attention that examination 6 marks question they are solving. So give yourself a patting from my side. Well done. Excellent answers. I'm so happy. That means you have understood the concept very nicely. Both the points will be mentioned over here. First, you'll give the provisions. Prima facie risk passes with the property. You'll give the 2 conditions. Number 1, if there is any default, party at default is liable. Number 2, your duties and liabilities as a bailee remain intact. So here, G is responsible because he has not acted as a bailee. However, since the delay is made, yes, दोनों की responsibility थी Devyani, absolutely correct. So both of them were responsible, but who will bear the loss? You have to give a conclusion on the basis of any one of the assumption. So we assume that the delivery was delayed, but since H has also not acted as a bailee, so both of them will be held responsible for their own actions. And the next part that they have given over here is that what were your answers if the dues were not settled in cash and they're pending? That means the payment was still not made. So first you will give the legal provision, risk prima facie passes. Buyer is liable because of his neglect to take the delivery. Either you can give that, but you should also write that the seller should have acted as a bailee. You cannot hold him responsible, but you should give a provision that he should have acted as a bailee. And the second part of this relates to unpaid seller. What happens if the payment is not made? That is part of your Unit 4 answer. Now, one child has asked the meaning of prima facie. Let's listen to a very interesting story which you see at your house every day. Say, for example, how many of you have a sibling, brothers and sisters? So say, for example, a brother and sister are playing with each other and brother hits sister. And when the sister is going to hit back the brother, suddenly the mother comes in the room. So what has mother seen? That the sister is hitting brother. So who is responsible in the eyes of mother? Sister is responsible because she's hitting the brother. That is prima facie. What I have seen is visible to me. So that is the meaning of prima facie. Means apparently, दिखाई क्या दे रहा है? मेरी bottle है, मैं owner हूँ, मैं responsible हूँ. Bottle given to the buyer, he purchased it, वो responsible. Prima facie means what is being shown to you. Is that clear? I hope you will never forget this example of brother sister because that is the easiest example to remember the meaning of prima facie. Clear? All of you, is that clear? Yes, Mohammed Siraj, all your answers were correct, but it is very, very difficult to read all these answers. All right, children. So I hope all your doubts are also clear and you have done a good revision also. Yes, Rini Chauhan, all your answers are clear. All right, thank you. Mosami says crystal clear. That's great. Pooja Yadav is also giving good answers. Very nice. Shubhra, correct. So thank you very much, students. I hope you have understood the concept very nicely and very important that you have to revise it when you come for the next class. Yes, Arjun, you want to ask something?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. I have a doubt that from Unit 2, Unit 3 is all, I have understood everything till section 26. So Unit 2 में priest versus log एक case था ना. So same I could remember a case that a very famous English case that is Donner versus Stevenson and Company Limited. So can I know the case very well. So can I also mention the case?
All right, absolutely correct, Arjun. But there is no mandatory rule to write the case laws in any exam of law. You don't have to explain the case studies, but yes, reference can be given. Absolutely correct. If it is a relevant case law which is related to that topic, you can give its references. Okay. Yes, Abhishek, your message is visible. All your answers are correct. I'm just seeing if all the answers have been very good. Answers given Vidya. Tulsi Nathan. Yes, Tulsi Nathan, you want to say something?
Namaste, ma'am. While writing answers to application-based questions, can I write my own examples, ma'am, excluding the...
Yes, but there won't be so much time, Tulsi Nathan. I'm reading what you written in the chat box. That is absolutely correct, the way you're presenting, but there won't be any much time of giving examples.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
So you have to write to the point. All right, students, now I can't find any of the doubts. I hope you enjoyed the class and you have enjoyed learning. So see you in the next class day after tomorrow. Please revise what we have done in today's class. Thank you so much. See you all. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.